Okay, Houzeo team, you guys are the best. Your tech support is unbelievable. I don't know how to measure the skills of your programmers, but you've put together a terrific website that rivals the best of them. Hey, my name is Daniel Cerro. I sold my property on Houzeo and I saved $10,000. Give it a try. A new agent who was a friend. Originally, I started to list our property with her, but I don't know, the paperwork never got signed on time, which led me to speak to someone who mentioned the website like for sale by owner, and that led me to do a Google search, and Houzeo comes up in that search, and when I read the different services that were offered by such websites, Houzeo was clearly on top. So I called, and it sounded too good to be true, just like your advertising says, but it turned out it was all true. So, I signed up for it, everything went smoothly. Customer service was top notch. They were very fast and very thorough. They did not rush an answer and get on to the next call. They took the time they needed to get to the bottom of what was wrong, and then they followed up with, is there anything else? So, very polite, either through verbal conversation or through typewritten chat. It was always smooth and thorough, and got to the bottom of things with the resolution. Houzeo was very quick and to respond. There was no queues or lines, and in the answer, even if it was a detailed answer about a contract, ultimately they got to the bottom of it. So there was no issues there. That's probably one of the biggest reasons why I liked working with the website. Was because instead of, oh boy, I got to call in a helpline, it was like, oh, these guys will figure this out in 15 minutes, 10 minutes. So I just use it. And that's why I can freely express to other people, yeah, give it a shot. You get a really good backup. It's backed by an excellent tech staff. I mean, you guys run a really tight ship there. And it was amazing to me that I could just chat and get an answer, or make a phone call and get an answer. So the help that I got was instrumental and essential. I maybe only used the help 4 or 5 times during the whole process, but it was always right there, and the answers were always efficient, and people took their time. No one was rushing, and very thorough, very thorough. Straightforward and simple. It's not confusing at all. I mean, if you can do an attachment on an email, and if you've ordered things on Amazon, you can get through Houzeo probably without much trouble at all. That's all really I had to do, is upload some pictures. If you're used to a DocuSign environment, that'll help a little. It's really not that bad. I think that maybe there's some fear factor with some people. I really don't know, but it's not that hard. When I went through the process, my thought was, this is the future. These guys are onto something. Why on earth would anyone pay 3% for a seller's agent? To do what exactly? The key to it is to get on MLS. And I was on MLS within probably 12 hours. And I had a phone call the very next day. And the third person who looked at the house wound up buying it. But I did get my full price, and I was very happy with the amount of money I got. I mean, the value of the property, I sold it for $100,000, more than I paid for it in just 4 years. I can't really complain about that. Well, let's take it one by one. I mean, the first thing was the photographs. So I hired someone to do it because I thought that would be a wise move rather than run around with the cell phone. And the guy came and took pictures, charged me $75. Not horrible. I mean, he was in and out in 45 minutes, so that was one thing. Now I need a blurb, a verbal description of the property. So the property, I had purchased it only 4 years ago. So the blurb was still existent on Zillow. So I just copied it, Control C, now I got it. And I edited it some because I had to keep it a little bit shorter, and that was done. So that's two things. What else was there in the process? Oh, the pricing. It didn't take a genius to figure out the pricing. I mean, I lived in a subdivision, maybe 180 houses, and probably 10% were, 5 to 10% were currently on the market. Very similar in square footage. I just looked at the square footage, multiplied it out, went to an open house or two to double check. And, I'm not a greedy person. I wanted to sell the place more than push the market. So I priced it reasonably relative to everything around me. And the third person made a full price offer. If you can be reasonable, don't be greedy, then you'll be able to price your house pretty well. And of course, the website can help you with that. And scouting around on Zillow or something, just looking at estimates of the neighborhood. Some insight into how the agents get paid. And if you were to offer, say, 1%, that's not just for the buyer's agent. They have to then split that with their broker. And so it reduces it even further. So now, my feelings would be hurt if I were a buyer's agent, because maybe I showed that property, 50 properties to whoever my client is. That's a lot of hours. That could be 100, 150 hours. And by the time I split a 0.5% on a $300,000 house, I mean, I make $200. That's like 15 cents an hour. It's not, I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be happy as an agent. I just decided, give these guys their fair wage, give them what they're used to, and that way I sidestep any issues. I'm sending a message to the buyer's agent that, hey, I'm going to pay for your time, and I'm not going to try to save a 0.5%, which was what, in my case, like $1,000. I'm not going to try to save it. I'm going to pay you what you used to get, and I'm going to show you that respect, and I'm just going to handle it that way. It's the sense. I just figured 3. The guy was expected 3. That shows them respect. I'll give him 3. I would recommend it, and I'm a pretty particular individual, and hard to please. So there you go. I'd do it again tomorrow if I had another house. To involve yourself in the selling of your own property at a very high cost savings. So give it a shot. That's what I'd say. It's I didn't spend that much time on Houzeo because I didn't have to. I spent maybe a total of 2 to 3 hours on the website in total through the whole process. And it's smooth, it's kind of obvious what to do next, and it's very well laid out. You're not sitting there scratching your head going, what the heck what am I supposed to do next? It's clear. And so, the website represents a golden opportunity for savings with little effort on the part of the owner.